Routers, consoles, Netflix, comics. It's time for Ajazz Tech. Hello and welcome to Ajazz Tech. I'm your host, Alex Zarnowski. I'd like to remind you that Ajazz Tech is part of Ajazz Networks. Please be sure to visit AjazzNetworks.com for all of our latest shows and blogs, including The Salinor Show, Rant, and Internet Amazings. So, my Xbox is pretty old. It doesn't even have Wi-Fi built in. For the past year or so, I've been forced to use my 2007, now dying Windows laptop to bridge an internet connection from my unreachable router to my Xbox. The dying part means that if I plug my laptop in, it freezes. If I leave it unplugged, it works until the battery drains completely. You can see why playing online becomes quite frustrating. However, I spotted a diamond in the rough on a random trip to a flea market. On a table full of useful junk sat an old classic, a WRT54G Linksys wireless router. I asked how much, and the dude said, $5. Sold! Meanwhile, if I wanted to add a wireless adapter to my Xbox, it would cost me around $60. I remembered that this router was special because it's highly hackable, and for $5, if I were to brick it in the process, it wouldn't be such a big deal. The process is quite easy. Just make sure to read up before going forward with the whole ordeal, or else you might permanently damage your router. It's also a good idea to try this on an old dummy router just in case. Don't use the router that you're currently using that supplies you with precious internet. I would then recommend navigating to dd-wrt.com on a 3G/4G connected smartphone before starting the process, just in case you are using your only router in the house. You will lose internet connectivity, so knowing what to do beforehand is a really good idea. Why did I do this after all? I needed to create a wireless repeater. That is, a device that slings a wireless internet connection from your cable-connected router. This way, you can expand your existing connection to other dead areas of your house, or in my case, take a wireless internet connection, capture it in the repeater, and supply an internet connection to my Xbox via a LAN cable. There is a cost to doing this. You will lose internet bandwidth in the process. Run some speed tests on speedtest.net, comparing both your main router and your repeater. Your results may vary. I found that it can decrease your speed by 35%. In any case, this is a great project to toy around with because it gets you thinking about networking in a different way. Let's face it, nobody likes to troubleshoot network problems. Performing this hack forces you to read literature that deals with IP addresses, security protocols, and signal strength, so it may help you help yourself or someday someone else. Speaking of the Xbox, it's almost May 21st, and that means the next Xbox, rumored to be called Infinity, will be announced. It's just in time for E3, and is also the last of the big three to unveil its next-gen hardware. Will we actually get to see the hardware during this announcement? It's kinda hard to tell. Sony's approach was all about software and functionality. They didn't have a final hardware design to show us. Nintendo didn't really focus on the actual hardware either, save for the fancy controller. Perhaps Microsoft has had enough time behind the development doors to finalize a piece of hardware and show us. They'd be the only ones to do so, giving them a unique edge over their competitors. And what about the name Infinity? Well, about a year ago, I heard a rumor that it would be called Xbox 8. Now, if you flip that 8 on its side, what you get is the symbol for Infinity. Someone inside Microsoft was having some fun for sure with that tease. What can we expect in terms of performance? Well, it'll be better, if not the best of the three. They're Microsoft after all. They have years of experience developing computer software and know how to work with hardware manufacturers. No doubt, will it be the best in terms of performance? I'd have to say that we'll see some games that we all know and love, such as Gears of War, Halo, and possibly some brand new franchises. The controller is rumored to have a flat design. Does this mean that we'll be getting a tablet or some kind of touch-capable controller? I don't know, but what about the accessories? There's no official name, but there might be an unveiling of a brand new beta project that projects your game onto your wall. Plus, Kinect will no doubt be reestablished as more sensitive and contain improvements. What we need is a good controller, not gimmicks. And that's going to be the challenge this generation, or else it's just going to be more of the same old thing that just looks better. Finally, I think Microsoft will be pushing 2 different versions of the hardware and focusing on making your Xbox the entertainment hub it was destined to become. Possible TV integration with listings and suggestions, along with Xbox Music, should really spice things up for your entertainment center. We can already control our Xboxes with Smart Glass, but what about controlling our TVs? And how will the Xbox do this? We'll find out this Tuesday soon enough. Who doesn't love Netflix? Raise your hand. Go ahead. If you didn't, that's okay. Netflix will be losing 1,800 titles due to expiring content deals. Majority of these titles will disappear on May 22nd. If you're a Nickelodeon lover, titles like Real Monsters and Rugrats will be disappearing. You'd know which show I'm upset about if you've been following my tweets at AJAZZ16, that's Ajazz16. Sadly, South Park will be disappearing. But luckily, this is a normal ebb and flow process for Netflix. For example, have you noticed all the wonderful Adult Swim / regular Cartoon Network content lately? It totally rocks. I'm painting a pretty biased picture for those who don't really enjoy animation. There is movie / TV content with real humans too that has either showed up or will be disappearing. In the grand scheme of things, Netflix is amazing, and if this is how we have to enjoy new content by losing old content, it's fine by me. Traditional TV itself isn't forever. There's a set schedule. We should be glad that we have something like Netflix that allows for a la carte viewing. However, we should also be concerned with how this will affect costs for future services. And it's the word services that will be key and play a huge role in how we watch quote-unquote TV. We won't have one centralized hub. We'll have tiny satellites that we pick and choose from based on the studio. This will be a nightmare, but we're still in dreamland for the meantime. Finally, since we've been talking gaming and animation, let's talk comics. A brand new cross-platform app brought to you by GoComics.com called GoComics will shower you with the funny pages. Yeah, 20 years worth to be exact. The app pulls from GoComics.com favorites such as Garfield, Peanuts, Calvin and Hobbes, and much, much more. Not every newspaper-based comic is there yet, like Slylock Fox, but maybe someday it will be. This eliminated my ritual of reading the Sunday Comics page. Actually, I needed the page for one last time in order to build my favorites list, and then I tossed it into the recycling bin forever. This app really does it right though. It allows you to zoom in and even has ads so that somebody, that means content creators, can get paid. Or you can go pro for 99 cents per month and eliminate those pesky ads. Well, that's all for this episode of Ajazz Tech. Got Stitcher? We're on it, so get it. Stitcher is an award-winning provider of news talk and radio for your mobile phone. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio. You can find all of our podcasts, including Cinema Clash and The Salinger Show, at AjazzNetworks.com. Follow me at Twitter.com/AjazzTech and search for my name on Google+. You can email me at AjazzTech@gmail.com. You can find this show and more at Ajazz Networks. Originally different media for your personal taste.